Hey guys, you're listening to the Code Red podcast. I'm Shubh,
And this is Parthib.
and this is the Manchester United podcast where we review games, tactics, and player ratings. Throughout the series, we'll also be looking at any club updates such as transfer news, injuries, or any additions to the squad. Today we're looking at Manchester United's 2-2 draw against Leicester in the Premier League.
Yeah, so this was it was a match between the second and third place. Obviously, Leicester in second, United in third. I would have gone forward to second if we had won, but well, it is what it is. So Man U visited Leicester King Power Stadium. So let's take a look at the lineups. In the United, there was the standard 4-2-3-1. David De Gea in goal, and Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly starting as center backs. Victor Lindelof filling in for an injured Aaron Wan-Bissaka on right, Luke Shaw on the left. Fred and Scott McTominay again with the partnership and the as the center defensive midfielders. We had Bruno Fernandes in the center of the midfield, Daniel James on the right, Marcus Rashford on the left, and Anthony Martial up front. Then on the Leicester side of things, 4-2-3-1 as well. Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Fofana and Evans as our center backs, Justin on the right, Castagna on the left. Then the holding midfielders were Ndidi and Tillemans. Midfielders, we had Madison in the middle, Albrighton on the right, Harvey Barnes on the left, and up front we had Chat Shit Get Bang Jamie Vardy. So it was well, obviously there was almost the first thing that happened was the Rashford miss.
Yeah,
Their finishing is abysmal. It's so terrible. Rashford could have had a hat trick today.
yeah, easily. I mean, you're a yard in front of goal, and you
And
just
you go
head
over the
to
bar.
the door. I don't know how that happens. But I mean, credit to Bruno. I mean, that was a really good
Oh
cross. He
yeah.
was able to just, like just kind of loop it over into Rashford. And I think, um, even though he did miss, I mean, it's good to see United really like, starting off strong, press. Um, During the match, I couldn't tell if my stream was like speeding up or something because like the ball was just moving around so quickly in the beginning. Um, but yeah, I think United they had a good start. I think creating chances, but they really need to start getting that first goal as quickly as possible, and keep up that pressure, like how they did against Leeds. I think if they can continue to do that, then they'll have more consistency.
But I think they were doing well as far as the midfield and the going forward. But oh man, they were really exposing Lindelof back there. Lindelof
Hmm.
was out of position so many times. They had a really nice play. Like I think it's usually what Harvey Barnes draws forward Lindelof, and Castagna runs down the line for Madison to
Hmm.
pass the ball, and they exposed Lindelof like two or three times on that same flank up until he got injured, and they were really killing them. I think they United were getting lucky because Leicester's crosses were pretty poor today, except for the Jamie Vardy one. But yeah, they're getting lucky on the wings out there. They weren't really able to defend. Obviously, Lindelof's not the fastest guy like Wan-Bissaka, but he was getting out of position so much. It's like they're not sure if they want to pressure, and if they do want to press hard, they're not stepping in for the ball. And in doing so, they're
Hmm.
catching themselves in no man's land and like their Ksenia and Justin are able to go forward and get those through balls and get crosses in. And United were lucky, I'd say. I think they should have scored maybe another one Leicester today.
Yeah, I think, as you said, like obviously Lindelof, he's not very pacey. So putting him at right back was a bit questionable. I believe Axel Tanzebe played right back against Everton, right?
He played in Everton for as right back.
I don't see why we didn't stick with that because Swanzebe, he wasn't bad, but I mean,
He's better than
Harvey,
Lindelof at the right
yeah,
back.
Harvey Barnes is a
He's so
pacey guy.
fast. He's a pace machine.
Yeah, he's a pace, well, better than Daniel James.
Yeah.
um, uh, but yeah, there were rumors saying that United might play a three at the back. Some were saying Daniel James might play as a right wing back to try to just stay on the sideline most of the game. What do you think about the formation, the 4-2-3-1? Also, I guess like the defensive line.
I mean, this is what they're comfortable with United. But I think as far as defensive line, I think what was really killing them wasn't really like it was that they weren't pressing hard enough and they were so sloppy at the back. Like the De Gea, Maguire pass that was sloppy. They were giving away balls in the like right in front of their box. They weren't pressing hard enough. I think that's what really killed them. They weren't pressing. They weren't covering their man, and they just sloppy passes. That's really what led to their downfall today.
Yeah, I believe Paul Scholes commented on when McTominay kind of gave Barnes a bit of space and Barnes just took that shot. He said he's taking social distancing a bit too literally.
Yeah,
um,
there's like four guys around Harvey Barnes, and no one wanted to step in. Like it's all like they're unsure of who's gonna step in, and that's what let him take the shot. It was a kudos to him. That was an amazing shot. De Gea had no chance of getting to that, but yeah, they're just not closing down their man fast enough.
yeah. I think they really need to step up the pressing, and I think if we had like Pogba and Matic, then we would have probably lost that game. I think
I do think Fred was making
Fred.
some really good
Hmm.
interceptions. He was making some tackles. I think just near the end he was getting really impatient, gave away some stupid fouls. But yeah, I think Fred, McTominay were doing well as far as defensive and pushing the ball forward. It's just that their passes were off as well from time to time.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was like he had a good start, I'd say. Like he was able to win the ball back, push the ball forward, which I'd like to see him do. He's improving. Just from that kind of CDM to more, box to box kind of role. But yeah, I think McTominay should have done better. He was quite sloppy, I'd say. He wasn't really on his game, not really able to force turnovers. Um, I think was he the one who passed it to Rashford, whose shot got saved by Schmeichel?
Schmeichel, I think so. I'm
Because
pretty sure.
if that was McTominay, I think that was probably the only like real thing he
Let's
created.
let me take a quick look. But yeah, they were creating chances for the most part, like pretty well. It was just that their finishing again was off. Like okay,
Hmm.
Rashford should have scored that one on one he had with Schmeichel. Like
Schmeichel,
it was
yeah,
like it was a good save by Schmeichel, but like he hit far post and he hit it like too high. It wasn't on the ground. Schmeichel could got his hand to
yeah.
it.
I think he could have taken another touch also.
I think if he either went like near post or just he went for like he just went for like an on the ground driven shot, I think he would have been fine for that. But yeah, it's their finishing is just not it's not precise, it's not lethal. They're missing too many opportunities, and especially right now where the league is so close, like this closest it's been in like
Hmm.
years, and especially where United are so close to first. I don't think United's ever been this close to first in a while. They really
Yeah,
can't afford to lose all these goal opportunities.
yeah. After 13 games, I believe the record last season was like 4-5-4, and this season it's like um,
It
a
is
9-2-3. Not
3-3.
8-3-3. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so they've like it's a definite improvement from last season, but still like they really need to build that consistency in front of goal. And I think the best man right now is probably Edison Cavani. I mean, you saw the
Yeah.
impact he made within seconds.
Oh yeah, he got
Um,
yeah. Edison Cavani,
but
he's like through and through number 9.
then again, in the Everton game, my guy was just missing chances left and right. So I guess sub and Solskjaer, probably the safest option.
What do you call him? Babyface assassin? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what Ole was trying to go for with a sign like Cavani, like a super impact sub who can just get the goal in the last minute.
Hmm.
And unfortunately they didn't. But the going from the Harvey Barnes goal, the what do you call it? The Jamie Vardy goal. That was just there was one man in the box. They had four defenders, and it's Jamie Vardy in the box. Like you can't let Jamie
Hmm.
Vardy like alone in the box. Like they're just fixating on the ball. They're not aware of what's around them, the space around them, how much space they're giving their forwards. Like and the forwards, they're just not like defending very well.
It wasn't fluent. Like their defensive line, um, like I don't know. We can't really hear what they say on the pitch or how much of a leader Harry Maguire is, but he was brought in to lead the defensive line. He's captain of the team as well. Like he's supposed to, communicate. And there's just no awareness at times. Like
Yeah.
it's like who's getting the ball, who's marking their man. And I really do think that if we're gonna have Maguire, I think and Lindelof is having back problems.
Yeah.
Um, and like Vahi is still very injury prone. I just see I think we need to go for Upamecano. We also are linked to David Alaba.
Oh yeah, I heard
Um,
about that.
so if we can get either one in the January transfer window, I'd be like happy. But I think like if we're gonna get a sign, I think we need to sign a center back because
Yeah.
is Upamecano captain of Leipzig?
Uh, well, Red Bulls. It no, Orban, Willie Orban.
Oh, okay. But like, I feel like he could probably lead that defensive line.
Probably better than
Um,
Maguire.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's just like we're looking quite vulnerable, even though we're progressing in a sense.
Yeah. And I also think aside from defense, they're still not countering hard enough. It's just
Yeah.
they don't have numbers for, and they're. It seems like they're waiting for mans to come forward. Like they should have more men up front, but it's also like the forwards aren't really running at the defense like too hard. I think if you do run at the defense, there's a like aspect of fear. You don't really give the defenders time to think. You don't give them time to close down. You just run at them. I think that's what it's maybe just a mental block that some that like Rashford, Daniel James are having, but they're not countering nearly as hard enough as they should. I think Mason does a really good job of doing that. He runs at the defense, gives them no time to think, and I think that's really allowed him to get those 10 goals last season.
Yeah, yeah. Mason's best attribute is because he is left and right foot. He's ambidextrous. That when he runs at the defense, the defenders don't know which way he's gonna go.
Yeah,
So he can create his own space and make his way through several players. But I think I think like most of these players are they're wingers. Like Martial started as a
he started
left
as a left
winger.
wing. Yeah,
Rashford plays on the wing quite often. So they're more used to like finding open pockets of space and delivering the ball through. But then again, our off ball movement is not as good in terms of finding that pass. Like,
yeah.
the off ball runs that, for example, Cavani makes, he knows where to be and when at the right time. Like that takes like skill. And so I think if
That's
Cavani can like mentor them.
that's an attribute that like Martial still has like struggled to develop. Like as
Mhm.
like being as a winger mindset, it's like you want to find that open space, you want to get free and just run down the line. But being like a number nine, you have to really know like where to position yourself, like how much room you have around you, who you can pass it off to. I think that's like what Cavani like. That's why he did so well at PSG, even with like Zlatan there. Like he was able to still shine, even when Ibra was like I have to say was far more superior than Cavani. But I think would it be wise if maybe they drop Martial to the left, played Rashford on the right, Bruno in the center, and then just Cavani up front instead of playing Mason or Daniel James?
Um, I mean, I think it's good to rotate them around. Like I think, it's good to, sometimes let Rashford play up top, Martial on the wing. And he has played Martial on the wing at times, I believe, against Leipzig. I don't know. I think it was the first Leipzig match. I think he played Martial as a right wing. So I think if they can keep rotating it, that will help as well because they won't be as predictable. Um, but I think
But I think
like
it's
I wouldn't.
as per like the more this is kind of an unorthodox way because they don't have like they really don't have a number nine. They don't have a Kareem Benzema. They don't have a Robert
Yeah.
Lewandowski. They just have wingers. I think maybe a more conventional manner of 4-2-3-1, like because you really do need that balance between like pacey forwards and someone who can who's a bit more physical, who's a bit more strong, who can pass better, who can hold the ball. I think that's what United might be missing. I think, and Cavani's not obviously a long term option
Mhm.
for that. He's 33 years old. I think they should maybe chase after someone like that. I think someone maybe who maybe who I mean Lukaku's excelling at Inter.
I mean, he's not gonna come back.
He's not going to come back though.
Well, they could have kept him, but he knew he wanted to leave, so he
Who
kind of
else is
sold
like
him.
who else is there that's like relatively young who can fit in that position really well?
Um, I
Obviously,
guess
there's the
someone like
Lord
Lautaro
Brathwaite.
Martinez. No, we're not taking Braithwaite. No, keep him. You keep him. um, keep Griezmann too. We don't
Yeah.
need a. He's like
Cicada,
Timo
cicada.
Werner. He's like playing like Timo Werner, and man's like missing open shots and whatnot. I don't know. I think if we could get like Lautaro Martinez, I think that would be a banger of a signing. Although
Yeah,
I think Barca were linked to him, right?
they
And
were
then,
linked to him, but they're broke now. So
oh yeah, maybe when it gets 30.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think we still kind of. I mean, like Martial is still young, but at the same time, he's 24 and still has a lot to learn. And like he's played what 5 seasons now. Like he's kind of like it's not like he still has something to build
Prove.
off. I think like yeah, he still has a lot to prove. He doesn't really have like some like season to fall back on. I mean, last season was still good, but I think yeah, it's about the consistency. And he did get that goal today, even though it was offside. I think yeah, I mean, it's just we don't have that proper, like Harry Kane type player who can be physical in the box, with just a quick pass and slot it in. Um, and that too, like we have Ahmad Diallo Traore, I forgot his name, but coming in January, but he's a winger, so
Yeah.
it's just wingers like it's who do you pick at winger? But then that forward, I mean, I guess you just rotate Rashford, Martial, and Cavani, and I guess occasionally Greenwood.
Yeah. It is kind of a pickle there, and I think as far as the defensive midfielders go, I think Fred McTominay do have are developing a decent partnership. I think what we've
Mhm.
seen these past 2 weeks, if they can keep it up at that, just a bit more clean, a bit more compact, I think they could be set as for that. But it's still like everything else; they're just missing more puzzle pieces.
Yeah, I mean their partnership lasts longer than any Indian batsman partnership, but
We don't worry about that.
yeah, well, that's another conversation. But yeah, I think obviously they need to, so like they've showed glimpses from last season, and I think if they can continue, I mean Fred, I think has developed more than McTominay. McTominay kind of had like a fluke game with the Leeds
Yeah,
game.
obviously we really can't say that that was like, he's gonna be scoring goals like that.
Yeah, like that's not representative of his whole season. That was just like a one game wonder. Um, but I think,
But I think like but aside from the goals, what he did produce there was good. He was being very creative. He was moving the ball forward really well. I think that's more of what I think Ole
mhm.
kind of wants from
I
the.
like his physicality. Like, I think before, like they give, like yeah, he has given space, but at times you saw him. I think he was wrestling one of the players down
Yeah,
after he
yeah,
lost the
yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
I think which one was it? I don't know. I think it was a Rashford one when Rashford missed the. Oh yeah. I think McTominay kind of like lost the ball and kind of wrestled the player. Well, I forgot who.
I think
Someone
it was James Madison, I think.
was it Madison?
Or
Maybe.
Albrighton. Or
No,
Albrighton.
it was one of them. And
Yeah.
then while he was wrestling, someone just slotted the ball straight to Rashford, and then Rashford couldn't finish. But he did the same thing against Chelsea. Like he went for the bottom left corner, and then Mendy made a save. Um,
When did
but
United play
yeah,
Chelsea?
it was quite a while. But it was a 0-0 draw. It was
Oh,
quite a
right,
while,
right,
but
right, right, right. I remember now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a decent performance, I guess. I mean, eh,
They could have put this one to rest. They should be
yeah,
second place
they
right
should
now.
be in second. Yeah, and I mean, they're still a game behind Leicester, but with the close proximity. I mean, what Everton's in second now, I
Everton's in
believe.
second, yeah. No, if they had won this one, they would be ahead of Everton.
Yeah. Um, they
But
really need to.
yeah. But Villa also have 2 games in hand, so
Yeah, so they could drop behind Villa. Um, but I mean, one of those games, United does have to play Villa still. But
eventually.
yeah. But yeah, should we move on to player ratings?
Yeah, for sure. Why you want to start?
Yeah, sure. De Gea, I'd say 6.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really produce any great saves, but at the same time, he didn't really produce many errors. So it was kind of like a average performance. Lindelof, I'd say 5. I think he just was just getting exposed at right back, and I don't blame him, but just he really couldn't do much, and he had to come off, so that kind of it was a bad day at the office. Um, Maguire, I'll give a 6.5. I think I did see. I kind of see him going more confident with the ball. Like he was able to, maneuver around, deliver some good crosses, move a bit forward. Although that slip kind of scared me a bit. Um, who else? Bailly, I think 6. He has been playing better in recent matches. I just hope he can stay fit because when he's on his A game, like he can be really um, like a real influence in that defensive line. Shaw, I'll give a 6.5. I think he did well instances to create chances, but at the same time, he's still way too slow, bro. Man's like,
Yeah.
uh, he needs this, like, he's just not as gifted genetically, like as Alex Telles can like whip it much harder. He's much faster. I just think Telles was just a much better player than Shaw. So yeah, those are my defenders and
Damn,
keeper.
that's a bold statement. But De Gea, I'm gonna go for 5.5 of that. Obviously the two goals were it would have to, you'd have to be on steroids to say that. But the mess the his distribution was there was obviously that time where the ball got caught up in his feet. That was a big scare.
Oh
But
yeah, that was
yeah, I think De Gea's time is dwindling down, which is kind of sad to see. I think he needs to bring back the old haircut.
the hair bun.
No, not the hair bun, like just like the six like Arsenal like 16 17 like haircut. I think the buzz cut isn't doing him any favors.
Oh, dude, that buzz cut gives me nightmares
That
because
buzz
he
cut.
wore that against Barca. Then he just let like stuff slide, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Imagine being in
Is
the Champions League.
oh, shut up. Harry Maguire. Yeah, I think I'll. Yeah, I think Maguire 6. It was that slip was obviously a huge scare, and he is, I think, one of the better defenders right now in the line, which is kind of scary to say. When
That's
but
quite bold. Oh,
it's
but
not.
that's you're not wrong though.
Yeah, but
Like
it is like not good.
I read
I
that I thought you said in the league. I just
Oh no 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 no
yeah.
hell no. Yeah, so I think he still just has to be more demanding of his defense, and he still has to be so much more aware of where he is, and he has to pressure a lot more on the men. He's just being too lax, especially with him being such a huge figure. I think that, but I think he is getting more. I think he's getting better in the air. He obviously had that one miss, but I think if maybe he can turn to like a PK or Sergio Ramos. I don't see that in the near future. I don't see him banging in top pins, free kicks, but maybe a header here and there. But yeah, Bai, I um think 6 as well. He's just still getting into the groove of things. I think is like this is only like was what like his second start this season, and for the league.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
The first one was a Spurs one. I remember that. But yeah, just if he can stay fit, maybe McGuire buys a new partnership. But still, again, the same things with McGuire. He's just not very aware of his surroundings. Lindelof, I have to force to give him a 4.5. Pretty abysmal performance today, just getting completely caught out in no man's land. He was not positioning himself very well, and he's just not fit for that right back position. I don't really blame him. Like he really can't do much, especially with Harvey Barnes and Castagna being so fast uh, down that wing. And I think it's just like I'm just gonna say the ones is the whole defense. They have no idea where the hell their man is and where they're standing. I think that's just like they have to be so much more aware in general. I think that's what Ole really needs to focus on. Shaw, I think 6 as well. He's doing decent on the left. He got some balls to Rashford, but yeah, as you said, he's nothing. He's okay. He's not nothing compared to Alex Telles, but he's not as great as Alex Telles.
Yeah,
It's a
okay,
bit
maybe that
too
was a bit
harsh.
harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. um let's see. I think McTominay I'll give a 5.5 because or actually I'll give him a 6. I think he was not terrible, but he was just sloppy at times and I just wanted to see him more consistent. Um and then Fred I'll give a 6.5. I think he did well to give turnovers. And I think if you can like it kind of does kind of start from that midfield. Like if they can gain possession in their own half and move it quickly, which Fred is starting to do, I think that obviously helps out our attack. And just getting that early goal is a huge mentality boost because you know you're in a good spot and it builds confidence. So I think like he's doing well, and I think if he keeps it up, it'll obviously help United massively.
Yeah, especially in the Leeds goal, we saw how hungry they were after those first two goals. They weren't letting up. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think they do play a pivotal part in that midfield. Fred, I do have to give him a 7. I was pretty impressed with him today. He was getting a lot of tackles in, just breaking up the rhythm of things for Leicester today, but still just a bit sloppy in his passes. The one to Daniel James was too hard. I think he does need it. I think if they can improve both McTominay and Fred on their passing, they can really start getting attacks like getting even more quicker. And McTominay, 6, just sloppy here and there, and it's not as great of a performance as he did in the Leeds match. And I think he can improve a lot more in that. So I think there is still more to see from Fred and McTominay. They still do have some work to do, but I think if all sticks with them, they could be good.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Bruno, I'm gonna give an 8.5. I think. I mean, obviously he did get the goal and assist. The assist was.
Uh,
I
I mean,
mean, I
if he
didn't.
meant it, then like yeah, that was a hell of a assist, like just splitting those two guys. But
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he touched the ball. I thought Daniel James got the assist. I was like, come on, bro. And then I saw the replay. I was like, oh wow. Um, but I mean, I think like he did have chances. Like there were, I think he had a header at one point which he just hit over the bar, and he has been getting into the right spaces. Like that, the goal he scored, he like Cavani like read it perfectly. He got it behind the defender, but not in an offside position, um, and he was able to put it in the net, unlike Rashford. Um, but I think he's still like a game changer, and he has more goal contributions than games played. As I
yeah,
think, I think he has a record for most. I don't know, like most goals scored as a midfielder in a calendar year or something. Not goal scored, more goal contributions in a calendar year, and he's only played like 11 months. He came in the beginning of, or was signed like in January 30th or
yeah.
something. Uh, but I think he had a great game today, regardless. Rashford, I'm gonna give a 5. I mean, he, I think he did well to get into some chances, but he has to finish those and put those away. Martial, I'm gonna give him a 5. I mean, he just actually, yeah, Martial 5. I think he was just kind of like invisible at times. Like I didn't really see what he was doing. I think besides that offside goal, I didn't really see any like key chances from him. And then Daniel James, like a 4, like he's just doing pacers on the sidelines at this point. I mean, what is his role? He just like he can't deliver a pass properly on time. I think besides that first pass, which Rashford scored, um, otherwise, yeah, I think Mason should have played because Leicester do play quite tight, and with their fullbacks playing forward, I think if Mason could have been isolated he could kind of stretch out the defense, which would allow more space. So I think Ole kind of got that one wrong, but Mason wasn't even on the bench, so I don't even know what's happening with Mason.
Yeah. Bruno, I'm gonna give him 8. Obviously, got the goal and assist. Made some brilliant chance today. I think he does have a bit of a hot-headed temper to him, and I think that is good. He is passionate,
Sure. Yeah,
but he gets himself into stupid situations. I think he just has to calm down a lot more. Just be like hard on him, hard on the players, but not hard to the point where he wants to like kill someone. I think what's that's the only thing I can say
yeah.
negative about Bruno. He's just too
I was
good.
just hoping he doesn't get a red, like
Yeah,
the
that's
second
gonna that's
yellow.
gonna
Like
ruin
he
that's gonna ruin
my fantasy team. Yeah, and like in a critical time where they have to play like what Wolves and Villa or something.
They do have the next
We
4 games
can't FU.
are at home, so that is good. But then the
All
next
four?
yeah, but then the next away game is Liverpool. Oh,
Oh yeah,
not
in
all four
January.
not all four Premier League. The next two is Premier League and the next two is EFL and I think one FA Cup. Something like that.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Rashford, he's on my fantasy team, 5.5. Yeah, he could have gotten a hat trick. It's just missing
Yeah.
too many. Like even at the start of the restart, obviously that Sheffield one, he completely. I don't
Oh
even.
yeah.
That just brings back
I
bad
was I
memories.
was I had him on my fantasy that time. So I was pissed.
I was so pissed off. I didn't see the first goal. I didn't see the first attempt he missed because I woke up a bit late, but
Oh.
the last one, the one, it pissed me off so much. It's like, holy shit, just put it in the back of the net. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel James again for has absolutely no impact whatsoever on the match. It's just him just running up and down the pitch. I think maybe they should consider
Pacer ball.
playing him as like a wing back instead of just a winger because he has no because as a defender, maybe he is a lot faster than I think he is faster than Wan Bissaka, and he's not better than Wan Bissaka defensively, but he is faster than Lindelof. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, the problem is like, I mean, if he's at right back and he sees Adama Traore,
he's gonna get destroyed.
my God, he's just
He's
gonna
gonna be
get
capital
like,
murder.
yeah. You know who Derrick Henry is?
Sounds familiar.
He's an NFL player who just runs over people. So that's
Well,
gonna
isn't that
happen to.
everyone?
No, you need to watch his highlights.
Okay.
He will murder you.
Okay.
Um,
Martial, 5. He had that one run that really didn't come to fruition. That was a really nice run though. But yeah, he's just not. It's just on and off for him. He's not staying consistent at all. And maybe they should consider starting him as a winger or and putting Cavani up there. I think maybe he could bring more to the table then. But I think it's just he's been playing this position for a while now, right? Like how long has when was the last like striker we had that was like good?
Lukaku in eight, no, not eight, 17, 18, 17, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing like in this position for now like going on 2-3 years. Maybe he should just convert like fully to a winger because he still has like the mindset of a winger when he's playing as a when he should be playing as a number 9. I think that's what's maybe bringing him down. Obviously, his finishing as well. It's not the greatest at the moment.
Questionable. Yeah.
Question, yeah. So yeah, so that's my player ratings. But so where do you think they go from here now?
I mean, I think you have to look at their kind of reaction to this game because, Sir Alex Ferguson would never play for a point, and I don't think this United side should either. I mean, maybe 2 months ago, we would be happy with a point, considering that we were losing to Crystal Palace and getting thrashed by Spurs. But now they are on a run. I think 8-game unbeaten streak in the Premier League. So like they just have to, forget it, keep on moving forward. They have to build consistency, especially in front of goal. They just have to be much more clinical if they want to challenge for the title.
Yeah. Uh well, I was close for predictions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought. Well, when it was 2-1, it was just like a kind of gray area between us because I
Yeah.
thought United were going to win, and you were obviously close. But you did predict the draw, so kudos to that.
Yeah, but it's just like an game. They could have put way more
Yeah.
into it. I think they came out of it still. I think they could have put a lot more into it just in general. Like a lot more passion. Uh
Mm-hmm. There's no
there's no
passion.
passion, there's no
Aggression.
aggression, there's no mindset. Yeah, but
Speaking of which,
oh my god. Holy crap. How can you be that garbage?
yeah, I mean, I thought we were garbage when we lost 1-0 to Arsenal, but that too, it was only one penalty. They lost to a penalty, a free
At
kick,
least
and
at least
a
now
box cross.
at least now Arsenal have a goal of the month.
Yeah. Dude. Oh
That
my.
goal is a
I
peach
could have
though. I mean, if it was a goal,
Saka's.
we'll see,
Yeah.
but he'll obviously take it as a goal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my. Didn't
I
Jorginho miss like a penalty or
Jorginho
something
missed a
as well?
penalty. It's just not going very well at for old Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
It's like
Kind of.
I saw he was Frank Lampard is like Roy Hodgson if he had like 200 million.
Yeah, yeah, for real. There's been so many Frank Lampard to Abramovich. I'm once again asking for your financial support.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, go ahead. Yeah.
I maybe old players shouldn't come back as coaches. I mean, The one I think that has been supremely successful recently is obviously Zinedine Zidane these last 5 years. But
Also Hansi Flick, or
Hansi,
but Hansi Flick had one good season. Yeah,
that's still a robbery. Like, how did Hansi Flick not win Manager of the Year?
yeah, that was the biggest steal.
Absolute
I mean,
robbery.
like, yeah, Liverpool like absolutely like
But
tore up the league,
but
but like
Hansi Flick literally saved Bayern from like
they were
obsolete. They
just
weren't gonna win
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
and
like
they ended up winning treble.
the
Like,
trouble. Yeah, like that's a huge robbery. I mean, I guess
exactly.
hugs win you bonus points.
Yeah, but the whole player manager, like player turn manager, maybe it's not for everyone. It
Yeah,
certainly
yeah,
is not
that's
for
true.
looking. It's not certainly for what's his name,
Lampard.
Lampard. But I think the one good thing that like maybe that's why Barca have been like us Barca fans have been wanting Xavi so much is that the these past who's it like yeah 3 managers have been so controversial. Like obviously the first one Valverde, he just stood behind Messi and Suarez's he really didn't have any impact in the team. It
Well,
was just
more so sleeping behind them.
yeah, he was just hiding behind them. Like it was just Messi and Suarez just masking the success, and he obviously had no plans for the future because he didn't promote any young team. And then I think Valverde, like he was just so nonchalant, like it seemed like he didn't care at all. And now with Koeman, I think it's just so toxic and like the camp, like he blames everyone but himself. Like he won't blame himself, like saying, okay, it's my bad. I'm not bringing the right substitutes. I'm not the tactics aren't there. He'll blame everyone but himself. And I think why the player managers have been so more popular like recently, I think more than ever, it's because like these like former players who are like club legends, they have like there's they you're supposed to respect them. Like you're not gonna go disrespecting Roy Keane if he's your
Yeah,
player manager.
yeah.
Like they do
Oh
garner some
my.
respect. Like you're not gonna be telling him to like go piss off. Like you can't do that to, like a club legend. I think that's why a lot of clubs are going for, but maybe it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think this United side would how would they do if Joaquin was the manager?
It would be fear. It would be just maybe fear mongering isn't the best way, but I think there has to be like Roy Keane and Ole is just two extremes of the spectrum. There has to be someone like in the
Yeah.
middle who's like someone more moderate, like who's willing to like come down hard on the players, but also praising them, not just praising them 24/7.
Yeah, I think the game overall has gone soft. I mean,
So
there's no
soft.
like
Oh my god.
standards.
Do you see like if Rashford fell over, like it looked like he dislocated his shoulder.
No, also the oh yeah, when he pulled his arm.
Yeah, you could hear him screaming. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then also when Shaw lost the ball and just kind of like tapped the I think it was Fafana, was it? I don't or Justin. I think it was Justin. The guy
Yeah,
just fell and
fell over.
referee just gave the free kick. I think not only in terms of diving, obviously cough cough United, cough cough Bruno.
Yeah.
Um but I think just like
Bruno's exempt from our
yeah,
criticism.
yeah. um I think just like standards wise, like I'm gonna sound like Roy Keane probably now, but I mean like there's no consequence of losing. Like before, like if you lost, like that was huge for teams and players. Like it's like it was like massive like guilt, but now it's just like oh like walk it off. You know, we'll look at it next time. I mean, there has to be some accountability, and I think Ole. We don't know what goes on in that dressing room, but like based on like what I can see in the pitch, he doesn't seem to be mad or he doesn't really seem to hold anyone accountable. It's just like okay, like yeah, we could have done better, and I think he does want to give the players freedom. And I think obviously this is a young squad, so he doesn't want to be too harsh on them because that could ruin their development. But
Yeah,
I think like a mix of Ole and Keane would I think be an
be
ideal
ideal.
manager.
Yeah, always just like hitting the praise button like he's on Football Manager.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just yeah. Yeah, that's what I've read. Whenever he score a goal, he just team
It's a
shots, praise everyone.
praise. Yeah, it's not
Everyone like that.
everyone like it's not ideal, but um I think would you say that Bruno is the best signing that they've made in the past decade?
Best decade. Mm,
Let's review some of
because
the
I think my top three signings for United in the past decade would probably be De Gea,
Definitely.
Bruno.
Oh no, De Gea. Oh yeah, De Gea came
Came
in
in
11,
2011. He
2011,
came
2011.
2011.
Right, right, right.
Um, yeah, I think it has to be between Bruno and De Gea. And Bruno has come for a season, and he has been really good one season. But De Gea's had a roller coaster. Like he was great, or no, he was okay, and then like he started to become like really good, and then obviously he kind of dropped off. So we don't know how Bruno's career lies forward for United, but I think because I don't see who else would rival Bruno and De Gea.
Mm, Well, there's obviously a lot of hype for Dino. But as far as
But
midfield,
Dino and Rashford, they're all like academy graduates, so they don't.
yeah.
That's not a
Oh,
sign.
okay, so that's fair enough. I mean, I'd say Martial was another great signing. I mean, like
Yeah,
he is inconsistent, but like he has bagged quite a few goals in the last 5 years.
I think he scored his 75th goal against Everton this week
Yeah,
for maybe I don't remember.
Wikipedia's a bit
Uh,
off. It says 52.
then didn't Rashford? Wait, what? Really? No,
That's what.
United just put like a YouTube compilation of 75 goals,
Oh well, I guess Wikipedia doesn't count most some goals
and then
in
I think
there.
Rashford got his 50th Premier League goal today.
Oh,
Um,
who else? Who have they signed? They've made some pretty terrible signings, to be fair.
yeah, probably none of the forwards. Um,
Yeah, Sanchez
who did they
not
sign in defense?
defense. They obviously had
Who have
Harry
they signed?
Maguire, Eric Bailly, Rojo after 2014, Daley Blind, but he was more of a defensive midfielder. Um,
Yeah, he played
oh,
like left back,
Ibra was
CDM.
a hell of a signing, but he was
That's
only there
true,
for one
but
season.
Ibra was only 1 year, so I don't know if that's like. But he was like
But that
really
was the year they
clinical to
came
that
second, right?
side. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
81 points.
that's still impressive for United
Um,
standards.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. He really transformed, but that also kind of costed Martial his confidence because he immediately got his like he gave Zlatan the number 9 shirt and then gave Martial the 11 shirt, and so that kind of just broke off his confidence.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you can't really not give Zlatan what he wants.
that's kind of true. Well, there's Mourinho good side.
Yeah. That was Zlatan and Mourinho. They had like Zlatan was like he loved Mourinho. I think the dinner
Yeah,
they were both there at
I
dinner.
mean their personalities are just so
Oh, so
similar. Like
similar,
it's
so similar.
yeah,
But yeah, but
that's
now Spurs.
yeah.
What happened to Spurs though today? I can't remember. Have they played yet?
Spurs play tomorrow, I think,
Oh, they
against
played
Wolves, right?
tomorrow. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let's. Yeah, so this could be their third loss in a row, maybe in the league.
I mean, I hope so. It's better for my fantasy team.
Oh yeah, they're playing Wolves tomorrow at 11:15.
115. Okay. I mean, I'm relying on 3 Liverpool players and 2 West Ham players, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. Um,
So do you think maybe Spurs are still gonna be on the decline, or do you think they're just that was maybe just a slight hitch?
I think I think they're on decline because I think it was kind of a fluke. I feel like on paper they have nobody except for Kane, Son, and Lloris, pretty much. Um, and I think the moment like they kind of see that kind of dip, I think uh, like I think based on like the past couple games, like it just wasn't as cohesive, and obviously that could just be like a 1 or 2 game, just drop off. But I think even against Stoke, like they weren't like really that like clinical. Like they barely clutched it up 3-1 win over Stoke. It would have gone to pens, but I just think they haven't really like if the thing is if teams try to attack and just give Kane and Son space, then they're gonna get destroyed. But I think teams are kind of starting to recognize how to play against Spurs. Um, so yeah, what do you
Okay,
think?
yeah. Yeah, I've always made the argument before that Spurs are nothing without Kane and Son. I think if one of them does go on the decline, it'll hurt the entire team. But they are playing Wolves tomorrow. I think that if anything, that'll be an indicator of the rest of their season. I think that might be.
Hmm.
And then they're playing who are they playing after that? They're playing Fulham, and Fulham have been doing relatively good, to be
They've been
fair.
doing bits. Yeah, they
Yeah, they
tied
they drew today,
Southampton 0-0.
which was annoying. Oh, not
They
only
beat
Southampton.
Leicester a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, so they are on the rise. I think these next 2 weeks for sure will be like, is it just classic Spurs, or is this like the new reborn Spurs, new age Spurs? I think that's really what it boils down to. But yeah, but in other news, Pochettino is the pretty much confirmed to be the new PSG
PSG.
coach. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I still think they made a huge mistake firing Pochettino.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously they don't really receive much funding. They spent a lot on the stadium. And he was able to do a lot with like the amount of money he was given like during his time at Spurs. Like the extreme change from not getting anyone you could want. Like it would be like $20 million signings. And now you're going to PSG where it's like, okay,
You can spend as
100,
much as you
150, 200, pick your lot.
want.
um, how
I
do you
think
think he'll do at
I
PSG?
think I think Pochettino, I Thomas Tuchel was like, he's a decent coach. He was obviously there at Dortmund, I think a couple of years after big man
Yeah.
Klopp left. But I don't think he Tuchel was like as like, I did like him. I do like Tuchel, but I preferred Pochettino a lot more. I think his personality, he develops like deep bonds with his players. You can see that like he does love his players a bit. I think that's what really gonna maybe the difference between some managers nowadays. And I think he's man who maybe I mean he's Argentinian. Maybe Messi will want to come join him there.
You
It's
never know. You never know. And I
yeah.
mean, Neymar is there too.
It's even more
Maybe.
incentive for Messi to go to PSG.
I mean, in the Champions League, maybe Agent Poch will do his work and try to recruit Messi to PSG. Um, but I think, yeah, I think he'll be successful at PSG. I mean,
Yeah, I
PSG
mean,
already have a
you're
lot of
not gonna not,
firepower.
yeah, you're not gonna lose the uh title to Monaco of all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you just stay first in the league and don't choke Champions League, you don't get sacked. Like it's not as hard.
I wait, but
um,
Tuchel like he did do. I mean, that they've never made it that far. Like obviously finals in the Champions League, they were unlucky at times, and then this season they obviously made it with some difficulty to the knockout stages. I
yeah, I mean,
it did seem kind of like a bit of a like maybe a bit impulsive on PSG's side.
I could see that. I definitely can, but I think it's like a feeling of progress because they also weren't doing well in the league. Like
Yeah, it
they're
was.
dropping points left and right. Um,
Where how are they doing in the league right now?
I think they're back on top, but it's like,
So whoa. Okay, so they're in third place, but there's one
oh,
point between them and first, and Lille is doing well this
Leon,
year. Damn. Okay.
but they have 4 losses. I mean, it's league. Like you can't. How do you lose 4 games to Dijon Mustard
Dijon
FC?
Mustard. Yeah.
um,
Okay. Yeah. I don't pay much attention to the Farmers League anyways,
yeah,
and
Farmers
why should
League.
I?
Yeah.
Why should I? But yeah, still though. So next up, they United are playing a certain Wolverhampton Wanderers. Are they still called that? Or just yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what do you feel about that one? How are you testing the waters for that one?
Um, I don't think United have beat Wolves yet. I
They
don't
have.
think we have.
I'm not sure.
I
Let
don't
me
think we have because
check.
when Bruno's first game they drew 0-0. I don't think Ole has beat Wolves yet. They've always drawn, I think.
Hmm.
Oh no. We beat them in the some fine. No, it's some knockout stages this earlier in the year. Um, yeah, I think it was like a 1-0 win. But in the Prem, we haven't beat them. Is this home or away? I think home,
Home,
right?
yeah. Wolves have been like wildly inconsistent. They lost 2-1 to Burnley last week, beat beat Chelsea 2-1, lost to Aston Villa 1-0, lost to Liverpool 4-0, beat Arsenal 2-1, tied Southampton 1-1. They're just all over the place. They don't really have like a steady stream of wins here and there. It's just win loss win loss. I don't think they're so if by that manner they should be winning their oh wait, but they're playing Spurs, so if the pattern continues, they're gonna lose to United.
United. I mean, I'm always. I don't. Have I ever said United won't win on this?
You never said they've lost.
I'm
You never
sorry.
predicted a loss. Never.
I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win. I think
For
they're
United.
still a bit nervy for United. I think they're still a bit nervy after like Raul Jimenez got injured. They've been rotating their players, like playing Daniel Podence up top as Cam. So they haven't really figured that out yet. And I think they are quite a high pressing team. So I think it could be their chances for United to score. If United are clinical, they could easily put the game to rest. But at the same time, Wolves could give them a run for their money.
Yeah, and who's their keeper again? Rui Patricio? Is he the keeper?
Patricio, yeah,
Yeah, he's obviously a great keeper, and Wolves do have some solid center backs. I'm so you're going for 2-1 United?
yep.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking 2-1 Wolves, and then I remembered Raul Jimenez is injured. I think if Raul Jimenez was there, 2-1 Wolves wouldn't have been a wild and a very out there uh, guess. But I think
I
one
also think
all,
because it is a 1-1.
one
I mean,
all.
that could happen. Like I could see them drawing. It's just for me, it's the short game week for them.
What was that?
It's a short game week because they play on Sunday and then they play on Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah,
The
they do.
game's
Oh,
on Tuesday.
United have an extra day of break. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I just think, I just get lucky with the fixture, I think. Um,
No, I'm. They're bound to concede United. I know that for sure. For a fact, they are
oh
going to
yeah,
concede.
that's like I wish you could like in FPL say like this team will concede until you get points.
Yeah.
um,
Then I just bet my money on Sheffield every week.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's true.
But okay, yeah,
Um,
I'm sticking with it. One all.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, I think United will dominate, but Wolves will get a lucky goal. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what day is it?
Today's
Today's
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. I've lost
Completely
all
lost track
track
of
of
time. Yeah.
time. Yeah, because Everton and City are playing on Monday, so like they're both going to be like kind of tired as well.
Yeah. They do have some
Um,
hard fixtures ahead of them, maybe. It's hard to
yeah,
see what's gonna happen though.
yeah.
Anyway, so Shub went for a 2-0, 2-1 win for United for the Wolves match. I went for 1-all draw again. So yeah, that was our coverage of the 2-all draw against Leicester today at the oh crap, what do they call it? What's the stadium called? King Power
Leicester.
Stadium. The King Power
Oh,
Stadium.
okay.
Yeah, so we'll be putting up this episode shortly. You can check us out on Instagram and Spotify and all that good stuff. And we'll see you around next time.